For thousands of years, humanity has been driven by questions. What happens after we die? Is there a greater meaning to life's suffering? We've looked to religion, philosophy, and science for answers. But what if the truth was something far more disturbing? What if our very souls, our emotions, our pain, were being harvested, fed upon by ancient beings who have been controlling our existence for millennia? Some of us have felt it, that deep sense of dread, that gnawing feeling, that suffering is constant. No matter where we look, no matter how advanced we become. But what if I told you that suffering isn't just a byproduct of life? What if it was the purpose of our existence? What if we've been trapped, controlled, and fed upon by forces beyond our comprehension for tens of thousands of years? In this episode, I will reveal the terrifying truth about the harvesters, cosmic predators who have been harvesting our souls and emotions for tens of thousands of years. And by the end of this journey, you'll understand why humanity is trapped in the eternal cycle of reincarnation, with no memory, no escape, and endless suffering. The harvesters aren't gods or demons, and they don't come from some distant planet. They are far older, far more ancient. They are beings of pure energy, existing in dimensions we cannot perceive. Their one source of sustenance is not food, water, nor sunlight. It's human emotion, but not just any emotion. They crave our deepest, darkest feelings, fear, pain, and suffering. Every tear shed, every scream of agony, it's all consumed. The harvesters don't just passively absorb this energy, they create it. They manipulate us into suffering, ensuring that we remain trapped in fear, forever generating the energy they feed on. The harvesters first discovered Earth eons ago. They saw in early humans the perfect vessel for their needs. Our species had something no other creatures on Earth had: complex emotions. The harvesters knew that with the right manipulations, humans would become the perfect source of energy, endless wells of suffering and pain. But humanity, in its natural state, didn't produce enough fear. So, the harvesters began to influence us, subtly at first. They whispered into the minds of our rulers, pushing us toward conflict, chaos, and war. Over time, they mastered the art of manipulating our emotions, guiding us toward suffering to ensure a constant flow of energy. Every war, every tragedy, every moment of human suffering, none of it is accidental. The harvesters have had their hand in it all, pushing humanity into a constant cycle of conflict. And as our pain and fear grow, so does their strength. Throughout history, the harvesters have ensured that humanity remains in a perpetual state of fear and anguish. But this wasn't enough for them. They needed something more reliable, something that could guarantee an endless flow of suffering, even beyond death. That's when they built the machine. Buried beneath the surface of the moon, this massive device is the key to their control. Every time a human dies, their soul is drawn toward the machine. But it doesn't simply capture our souls. It drains them of every ounce of energy we've generated during our lives. John Lear was an American aviator and UFO researcher. In an interview with Art Bell, he shared this secret about our moon. The machine wipes our memories clean, erasing every life we've lived, every lesson we've learned. And then it sends us back to be born again, to suffer again, to feed the harvesters once more. This is the eternal cycle, a never-ending loop of reincarnation, where we live, suffer, die, and are reborn with no knowledge of the truth. We are trapped in this cycle, with no hope of escape. Our suffering fuels the harvesters, and as long as the machine on the moon continues to operate, we remain their prisoners. Ingo Swann once reported he felt a sense of danger when he remote viewed the moon, claiming that entities became aware that they were being observed. He mentioned that they seemed hostile toward his presence and that the experience became so uncomfortable that he abruptly ended the session. According to Swann, after this, he received a very strong impression that he was not to return or attempt to remote view the moon again. In essence, it was as if he had been warned off. But not everyone is blind to this truth. Dr. Everett, a former NASA scientist, was part of a classified mission to the moon. During that mission, he and his team uncovered something extraordinary, evidence of the machine. They weren't supposed to see it, and when they did, one by one, his colleagues vanished. Dr. Everett knew too much, but he couldn't stop. The more he uncovered, the more horrifying the truth became. He realized that the machine didn't just erase memories, it implanted new ones. False lives, false memories, designed to keep humans trapped in the cycle of suffering. Dr. Everett began to experience vivid dreams, memories, he realized, of lives he had never lived, lives filled with suffering, with pain. And these weren't just random visions, they were his past lives, stretching back for tens of thousands of years. These visions showed him the truth. Every human is trapped in the eternal cycle. We are born, we suffer, we die, and we are reborn. The harvesters have been feeding on us for eons, and we are powerless to stop them. But what happens if the truth were to become known? What if humanity woke up one day and realized that every moment of pain, every tear, every war, it was all part of a grand cosmic harvest? What would that do to our world? The world as we know it would collapse. Governments, religions, and institutions would fall apart under the weight of this revelation. Everything we believe in, heaven, hell, reincarnation, it would all crumble. Humanity would spiral into chaos, knowing that their suffering was by design. Religion, the foundation of so many lives, would no longer provide comfort, the promise of eternal peace, of salvation. These would be revealed as lies, fabricated to keep us trapped. Humanity would fall into despair, knowing that they were nothing more than pawns in a cosmic game of suffering. But would this awakening be enough to stop the cycle? Or would it simply fuel the harvesters even more? Fear and despair would spread like wildfire, feeding the very beings that we seek to escape from. The more we fear, the more we suffer, the more powerful they become. Even the knowledge of the truth could backfire as the world plunges deeper into chaos, fueling the harvesters with more energy than ever before. But what if there is a way out? What if the cycle can be broken? Dr. Everett believed that hope, unity, and awareness could be the key. The harvesters may control our suffering, but there is one thing they cannot touch: our hope. Hope is the one energy they cannot harvest. If humanity were to awaken to the truth, but instead of descending into fear, we united, we could weaken the machine, disrupt the cycle, and finally escape the harvester's control. For now, the eternal cycle continues, but the search for escape has begun. The harvesters are powerful, their control vast. But as more awaken, as more fight back, the machine that has kept us trapped for eons may finally begin to falter. The question is, will humanity be able to unite before the harvesters grow too strong? Thank you for joining us on this journey into the darkest corners of human existence. If you found this story chilling, there's so much more to uncover. Until then, stay curious, stay vigilant, and keep looking up.